Yeah, two bills I'm talking about here are filed by Senator Dusty Deevers. One of them centers around birthright citizenship. That second one, H-1B visas. Now, another senator I spoke with calls these unconstitutional. Deevers says it's necessary.
We have to protect Oklahoma workers, and if we don't, we are failing at our job.
Senator Dusty Deevers is talking about Senate Bill 2098. It wouldn't federally change citizenship, but would require that when a baby's born in Oklahoma, the birth certificate must include both the citizenship status of the biological parents and whether that baby is born an Oklahoman, a U.S. citizen, a tribal citizen, or a foreign national. If neither parent are citizens, it wouldn't allow the baby to be listed as one.
This is not to disparage anyone, but simply to say that the purpose of Oklahoma government should be protecting the interest of Oklahomans. And I think that's pretty straightforward.
Then there's Senate Bill 2073, which would ban state contracts with companies utilizing H-1B and OPT employees instead of Oklahomans.
Do we need to deport all the illegal immigrants? We have to disincentivize illegal immigration.
A lot of businesses here in Oklahoma use workers like that. Do you think it could negatively impact them? What are you thinking here?
Well, it could. I want to see them seriously take into account whether they are pro-Oklahoma workers.
But while Deevers calls it a priority for the Trump administration,
Senator Deevers misses the point that we have a federal government and we have a constitution.
Senator Michael Brooks Jimenez says he just doesn't see this happening.
Personally, I don't think that this is constitutional.
And believes the Supremacy Clause would negate both bills.
The government that defines who is a citizen of the United States is the federal government. And so given the past 150 years that birthright citizenship has been enshrined as a tenet of the United States, I'm not inclined at all to believe that the state of Oklahoma would do something contrary to that.
Brooks Jimenez says he wants to focus on protecting immigrants and those jailed this next session.
It's absolutely vital to be able to have some sort of oversight.
He's pushing for upgrading the Jail Standards Act, allowing religious leaders and state officials to be able to inspect both jails and detention centers that may not have the best conditions.
In my other position as an immigration attorney, I get calls from these facilities, and sometimes there are issues whenever it comes to medical attention for people with pre-existing conditions and other things that are going on in these facilities.
Yeah, now I do want to point out, since taking office in 2023, Deevers has sponsored dozens of bills. We're talking about 30 to 40 bills thus far, and only 4 of them have passed in all. Session starts in a couple of weeks, so we'll just have to see what happens. In Oklahoma City, Chantal Navarro, KOCO 5 News.